Hello everyone, today we're gonna do a patch review. We're gonna review the patch that came out yesterday. And if you watch this in the future or later, the patch came out the 17th of November exactly, so on Tuesday. And it had some good new things incoming. For example, this new armor system. And what it is basically, it's just every hero, depending how strong he is, has more than 40 HP to start with, because he gets some armor bonus on top of that. Actually, I said every hero, but it's not every hero, because like we're gonna see, some heroes get 0 armor, but let's see that later. So on your hero selection, like you can see here, you're gonna have armor thing popping up telling you how much armor you get, and it's just gonna add up to your HP. So first you lose armor, and then you are on 40 HP, and then you're gonna lose your HP. Let's see how they did it. They split up the heroes in 7 tiers, like you can see here. And every tier has a different strength of heroes. And then, depending how strong the hero is, you get different armor. So, the best heroes get 0 armor. Makes sense, they are good, they don't need armor. Then, the second best, they get between 2 and 5. So this is random. So if you get Cartoon, for example, you can get 2 armor, you can get 3, you can get 5, totally RNG. I think it's kinda a big difference between 2 and 5, especially since a tier 5 hero can also just get 5 armor. So I don't really like the aspect of RNG in this, but you know, it's Blizzard and it's Hearthstone, so they always have to involve some kind of RNG. So I was looking over these heroes before I recorded and kinda agree with most of them, but there's some that I'm really scared of that are gonna be strong. For example, Lich B. If you give Lich B 50 HP, that's gonna be pretty strong. Basically gets 5 gold for free, because, I mean, it's not for free, she has 2 hero power, so it's her hero power, but she still gets the gold without losing the HP really. And then there's heroes that are very dangerous when they don't die in the early game, such as Alexstrasza or Shadowwalk. Normally these heroes are not S tier because they can die and they can hit top 8 very fast. But if you give them HP or armor, like we're gonna call it armor since it's armor, feels pretty scary to me. I don't know what Gallywix is doing in tier 4. I think Gallywix is already S tier. I played him earlier with 6 shield or armor, so I had 46 HP on Gallywix. I had so much time to actually get strong. It was kind of crazy. Other than that, I think the tier list is decent. I mean, you have to have in mind that they base this tier list not on the top 1% of players, which I am in, because Shadowwalk and Alex are very dangerous at high MMR. So I think they're basing this tier list on like the average player, and the average player is not that good with Shadowwalk or with Alex, so it kind of makes sense that they put it in low tier. And it's gonna be very hard to make a balanced tier list for armor for every different skilled players, if you know what I mean, right? For example, Cartoon is super bad in my MMR range, but it seems like it's very good in lower MMR. So they put it in tier 2, because if they put it here, a lot of people are going to be angry. If they put it here, only a few strong players are going to be angry, so we're just going to have to accept that. I played a little bit of the patch and I think it's interesting, because you're not only gonna pick the strongest hero. For example, if you get Silas offered with 6 armor, you're probably gonna take it over Kurtrus, right? Even though you might have not done that without the extra HP. Also, Finley is very interesting now, because you can get every hero on Finley, so having a Hook Tusk with 6 armor seems pretty strong. For me, the biggest change of this patch, but there's also other things. For example, this new hero called Tamsin Roame. I hope it's pronounced right. Her hero power is Fragrant Philastery. Oh man, so hard to say. The hero power is basically start of combat, destroy your lowest minion, your lowest health minion. Give its health to all your others. It's a hero power that you press in the tavern, like in your shop, and then at the start of the next combat it's gonna destroy your lowest health minion. If they have Death Rattle, the Death Rattle procs, yes, I tried it out, and it's gonna give For example, if the lowest HP minion is 2 HP, it's gonna give 2 HP to all your other minions. Do I think it's good? No. I tried it out and it was very, very bad because there's a lot of cards you cannot buy. You cannot buy Deflector, it only has 2 HP, so it's probably going to be low as HP. And you don't want to eat your Deflector, do you? Bronze Warden, only 1 HP. You cannot really buy it. Puppet, you don't really want to eat a Puppet, right? It's like, it's kind of weird. I tried to make it work with Terragosa, because Terragosa keeps the buffs from the fight, so it keeps the HP. But even with Terragosa, it was too slow. I needed like 2 or 3 more turns even. Like 1 turn wasn't even enough. They themselves put Tasmin in tier 4. I think it's even worse than tier 4. I would maybe put it tier 6. Not really a fan of the hero. Then Diablo should have been removed now, but he will not get removed. Instead, he will get buffed. It's not really him that will get buffed, it's more the spells that you get from the treasures that will get buffed. And they're gonna get buffed significantly, actually. If you look at this, for example, on tier 4 you used to get +6 attack, the +6 attack on all your minions, and now you get +16. That's like +10 attack more. Like, yeah, I know, +10 attack, I'm good at math, but it's actually a lot. Same with 2 damage instead of 1, it actually matters a lot in the early turns. And +4/+4 in the early turns is obviously way better than +2/+2. I think Diablo was playable after he got buffed the first time. And I played him now once and he felt even better. So, I don't know. I might play Diablo a bit more now. And hopefully it's not going to be too strong. Because if you have Diablo in the lobby, you're guaranteed to fight him every 4 turns. And you're probably gonna fight him even more than every 4 turns, because you can just face him naturally too. Having Diablo being too strong is not good for the game, but I think it's fine. So let's see. Then they removed and added some minions. They removed Bristol Back Knight. That was the 5-drop with 4/8 Divine Shield that got Divine Shield when it attacked and didn't die. Yeah, I don't really know why they removed it. Maybe because they added Fawncaller, the 4/3 Divine Shield that gets a gem when it dies and has Battle Cry, gets a gem too. And maybe they didn't want too many Quillboss, especially Divine Shield Quillboss. They didn't want to make it too easy to get Divine Shield on your board, so maybe that's the reason. But other than that, I'm not really sure why. But they added Mithrax back to the pool. I don't know if you remember Mithrax, but Mithrax was the Menagerie God. Basically, for every tribe on your board, it gets +1/+2 a turn. So if you triple into it early, you can just buy different tribes and then power level fast. I don't know if it's gonna work in this meta, because this meta is kind of fast and it's very easy to get big stats. So it's gonna be interesting to see if Mithrax can keep up with this, but we will see. I played him once today and it was okay. Like, I used it to level fast and then do something else, and then I sold him. I used him and sold him again. Then they updated some minions. Mechano Tank. Oh my god. That was the most important nerf ever. And I think they didn't nerf him enough, honestly. They put him, they removed 1 attack on him, and he now deals 5 damage instead of 6. But in the mid game, 5 damage is still enough to one-shot all your big minions. I don't know, I still face this card and it's still strong. I hope they did like 4 damage or whatever. I don't care about the stats, it could be a 4/4, a 5/3, I really don't care. But the damage it does, I think, should be 4. And not 5. And it was 6 before, that was crazy. Then another nerf I'm not really that happy about, because I like the card and I don't think it was too strong. But Greasebot now only buffs +1/+1 instead of +2/+1. Slight nerf to Max and Divine Shield comes. It's okay, it's not the worst. Then Scallywag, they buffed 1 attack on that. I'm not gonna talk too much about it, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Yoho is now a 3/5. Also, in my eyes, doesn't really matter that much. It's just a good minion you can buy on tier 2 now to have some tempo. But I'm a player that doesn't buy tier 2 units ever, so I don't really care. I don't know what you think about it. Then Strong Arm is kind of interesting. I don't really know why they buffed him like that. So the text changed to give a friendly pirate +1/+1 for each pirate you bought this turn, to give a friendly pirate +1/+1, basic, even if you didn't buy any pirates, and then repeat for each pirate you bought this turn. So most of the time, this buff is just a +1/+1 more than it used to be. But I was thinking about, like, what happens if you buff an Amalgadon with a Master of Realities on your board, then it kinda interacts like Major Domo does with Elementals and Master of Realities. I know it's not gonna really happen that much, like you're not really gonna ever buff an Amalgadon with a Master of Realities on your board that often, but it's still interesting to think about it. Then Ripsnarl didn't change that much, got 1 more HP, not much to say about it. Now this, Tony Two Tusk. I think that's the biggest change that got done on a card with Mechano Tank. Mechano Tank got nerfed, and I think this got the biggest buff. Because it's now, instead of Avenge 5, it's Avenge 4. And that makes it so much easier to golden your pirates. Like, you might not think it makes such a difference, but 1 unit less makes a huge difference, I can tell you. Like, if you only need a Scallywag and an Acolyte on your board, boom. That's 4 minions that die, and you can almost guarantee it. Scallywag will always die, Acolyte will always die, and you get a golden minion. So I think Tony is gonna see more play. As you can see, they buffed pirates quite a lot. They nerfed mechs, they buffed pirates, and they buffed Quillboss. They buffed Tough Tusk, 1 HP, only a stats buff, not that much. Then, this is interesting, Bristleback Brute and Dynamic Duo are back how they used to be when they actually came out. This is how the cards were when they came out. Then they got nerfed, then they got buffed again, and now they're back. Now if you play a Blood Gem on it, you get +3/+3. Duo just got stats changed to 5/6. When they came out, they were super strong. Now the general strength of cards is way higher, so I don't know if it's gonna be strong or not. In the games I played today, it didn't really make that much of a difference. But Necrolite. I think Necrolite makes a huge difference. They moved it from tier 3 to tier 4 because they buffed it a lot. Because now, instead of just swapping the gems from one minion to another, it also plays 2 blood gems on that minion. You can use this card now in 2 ways. You can just buy it to give your Shaker 2 gems, or you can buy it to swap your gems from the Shaker to a Divine Shield unit and then also buff this +2/+2. So they just made it way stronger and also more versatile. I like when they force you to make decisions, like you have to either swap the gems or you have to put the gems on your Agam or Shaker and buff your board even more, you know? I'm excited to play in this patch, especially with the armor thing. I think the armor thing is the biggest change in general. It's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, I don't think this hero is gonna see much play in high MMR. Like I said, I played him once, or her once. Seemed very weak. I'm not sure if I'm gonna try it again, but maybe on my Smurfer gown or something. Diablo, stronger than it was. Mechano Tank, thank you for nerfing it. Oh my god. I have nightmares of this card. And yeah, Pirate stronger, Quillwatch stronger. I'm kinda a little bit annoyed they didn't nerf the Pyrospawn, the 3/5 dragon that does 3 damage whenever a dragon attacks your minion. Jandis didn't get nerfed. I mean, Jandis will never get nerfed, I guess. It's gonna be interesting. Some fresh wind. I hope you had fun, and see ya!